Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Howson, and this is 5 things that we learned watching Manchester United finally get that revenge on Tottenham. In at number 1 then, Manchester United 3, VAR 1. United have now won a ridiculous 28 points from losing positions in the Premier League this season, with the second highest tally being that of Leicester, which is all the way down with 16 points. It's frankly ridiculous. It's an actual cultural reset that Ollie's done. It's a mental thing, but it's also a pure desire thing from Manchester United, that we are now a team that refuses to know when we've been beat. It'd be great if we actually started matches a little bit better, I'm sure. It'd be great if we actually took the lead and cruised through games, but how boring would that be? You don't want to do that. You want to be able to overcome something. You want to have some sort of a story in a game, and nothing beats the comeback kings, which is what Manchester United are becoming. And really, if you had to define Solskjaer's career as a player, he kind of epitomised that, so it's great to see that his side is going on and doing that as well. But let's talk about VAR. So from Lo Celso's foul on Rashford, to Cavani's brilliant opener being disallowed, to Son going and just, I can't believe this guy served, honestly. I can't believe this guy served. That was so wet to go down from that little contact. And not only that, to pull the ball back that far. The referee wasn't giving, there's no VAR, right? Goal. Referee just gives it. He's not going to bring it back and go, actually, I thought you might have flicked him in the face about 5 minutes ago, so we're not having that goal. Nonsense. If you don't give it at the time that it happens, you can't pull it all the way back for that. I'm not having that. That was nonsense. It felt like it was going to be one of those afternoons. As soon as they went up the other end of the pitch and Son scored, had to be Son, didn't it? As soon as he scored, I thought, this could have one of those days all over it. But you don't panic with this current Manchester United side. You don't panic. You think, I think we've got goals in us. Something we never had with Jose Mourinho was in charge, I think it's worth saying. We've got goals in us. We've got the mentality and the ability to be able to come back in matches. And we did it the right way, and we did it the proper way as well. The second half reaction was absolutely fantastic from United. And luckily, we managed to overturn it and make sure that another game wasn't ruined completely by VAR nonsense. Number 2, Cavani proving his worth. Yesterday showed probably Edinson Cavani in his best light in a United shirt. I thought it was a brilliant all-round performance from him. He should have had 2 goals. The first one was absolutely spectacular. Megan, the goalkeeper, brilliant movement, brilliant run, brilliant execution, wrongly chalked off. But he did manage to get on the score sheet. And interestingly, coming on the back of Ollie hosting a meeting on the morning of the game to work on how to get the best out of him. I think Ollie's man management is something that goes completely amiss. I think his man management is something that might be his best attribute as a manager. And sometimes it's not about, do you have the greatest tactics? It's not about, have you got some revolutionary ideas about football? It's, can you get the best out of the people that are in front of you? And when you look at what's happened with Luke Shaw, when you look at what's happened with Fred, when you look at the fact he managed to get 20 goals last season out of Anthony Martial, when you looked at the performances you've seen of Paul Pogba, Marcus Rashford, the transition of Mason Greenwood, I think Mason Greenwood would have scored all the goals he scored for Manchester United as a teenager if Jose Mourinho was still here. We both know the answer to that. I think Ollie's man management is sensational. With Cavani, it does feel like he's going to be more than likely departing in the summer. And I think after that goal got ruled out and some of the other stuff that's happened to him, you almost couldn't blame him. It's clear as day that United are going to have to sign a replacement. The talk is there in the media, and I don't think there's any reason why that would be wrong. I'd love to see Cavani stay, but he was only ever going to be a short-term replacement. Recruiting someone who does what Cavani does is going to be very, very difficult. His movement, his anticipation, there's been some absolutely scintillating link-up play. It's been an absolute joy to watch him in a United shirt. A bit like Ibra, I only wish it happened 7 or 8 years earlier. Only Dominic Calvert-Lewin has got more headed goals in the Premier League, with only 1 more this season than him. There were worries that Cavani was going to be another panic deadline day flop. Loads of them. And he's been absolutely nothing of the sort. I'd almost go as far as to say that he's managed to remove the number 7 curse. And if he's not going to be here next season, I think it would be misconduct from the United board if we don't sign a proper replacement. You've seen what a number 9 can do in this team. Go get a proper one. And if you added a right winger to that as well, you might actually give this team the chance to go and have a title charge. Number 3, phenomenal Pogba. Speaking of best showings in the United shirt, I thought that was one of Paul Pogba's best. Probably not the best, but certainly one of the best. I thought it was a very, very good, mature performance from Pogba, who covered a lot of ground, left, right, up and down on that pitch. Since it's certainly one of the best that we've seen in a United shirt since he returned in 2016. He had an 88% pass accuracy, made 23 final third passes, attempted 9 takeovers. How's a guy that big dribbling past people? What law of physics is that breaking? He completed 6 of them. He made 4 ball recoveries, 4 clearances, showing that he does the hard stuff as well. Created 2 chances, took 2 shots, registered an assist right at the end of the game. It was a great showing from Paul Pogba, to the point where it sparked the debate of, well, maybe Mino Raiola, we have to work with him after all. Do we have to dance with the devil to get Paul Pogba to stay? Personally, I don't think we're going to get Paul Pogba to stay. It's clear that his desire is to play football somewhere else, and I think Mino Raiola's desire would be to get a big old payday for moving him on somewhere. But the bottom line is, unless someone puts some actual money on the table, because Paul Pogba is worth whatever United want for him, then there's no point letting him go. We are not a better football team without Paul Pogba in it. The only drama with Paul Pogba comes from his lack of wanting to be here, or from the fact Mino Raiola is his agent. That's it. All the other things with Pogba, they're great. You know, he seems like a real integral part of the dressing room, really well liked. When he is on it, he is on it, and there are a few better in world football than him. It's just the agent thing. Now, it might be a mistake that United throw a massive contract in front of him to get him to stay. Maybe that United are moving on from that post-Sanchez kind of mentality. They're looking at the mistake they've made with David De Gea. Could they afford to make that same mistake again if they put Paul Pogba on? Let's going to be honest, he's going to go in and ask for more than De Gea's on. Probably somewhere in the region of 450, 500 grand a week. Is he worth that? When you look at what it would cost to replace him, he might be. United are going to have to spend 100 million to get close to someone who can do what Paul Pogba can do on an average day. So would it be worth dancing with the devil to get Paul Pogba to sign for Manchester United? Yesterday was a complete performance. And much like Cavani, if you can't convince him to stay, you need to identify a replacement, because we can't afford to lose that. Number 4, Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood entered the field with 25 minutes to spare and made a match-winning impact to extend this unbelievably solid run of form. And the best thing about it, I'm seeing Mason Greenwood play with a smile on his face, and I love that. He assisted Cavani's go-ahead with a lovely cross from the right-hand side, showing that he's got playmaking abilities as well as absolutely dead-eye finishing. An art that he's really developed massively this season, but it's something that's always been in his game. That breakout season that he had in the academy where he scored just over a goal a game, but he also assisted a goal every other game as well. This is a phenomenal footballer that's now starting to have the impact that he was having in the academy, with the same sort of filthy numbers that he's doing with the men's game as well. He then wrong-footed Reguilon into the box deep in stoppage time before absolutely smashing it past Lloris to make sure the 3 points were Manchester United's. He's now been directly in 4 goals in his last 4 outings, with 3 goals and 1 assist, and he's once again finishing the season extremely strongly. And finally, Henderson's big statement. I think a lot of us were really noticing Henderson's performance yesterday in a Manchester United shirt. De Gea's inclusion on Thursday followed Henderson's return this weekend, further solidified the transition, and Solskjaer literally did it in front of our faces. There was no big fuss, there was no big media debate about was it the right thing to do. Solskjaer absolutely finessed this. De Gea, Henderson. And I think it's the right thing. I think it's the correct decision. Henderson pulled off a number of really good saves to keep Harry Kane quiet, and he probably couldn't have done too much about Son's opener either, if we're being honest. The most notable thing, though, was Henderson's rushing off his line. United play a high line because United attack. And you have to be a goalkeeper that's comfortable coming out. Now, not like Neuer, because I think Neuer terrifies me, because I think he wishes he was playing centre mid rather than in net. But Henderson rushing off his line to cut out an attacking pass or to close down an opposition player happened on 3 occasions yesterday. No goalkeeper has done that more in a Premier League game this season. That's what Henderson brings to this Manchester United side. It's something that's been alien to United for years because De Gea doesn't know that he's allowed to leave his 6-yard box. So it's really refreshing to see a goalkeeper that's so willing to come out and actually get involved that high up the pitch and confident enough in his own abilities to go and do that. And I think it really adds something to this Manchester United team. We've seen him starting attacks from claiming corners. We've seen him providing show-stopping saves. And now we're seeing him sweeping up at the back as well. Dean Henderson isn't just 2 lorries with one going 1 mile an hour faster. He's changed gear and pulled away. Dean Henderson is Manchester United's #1. And that is it from me. Cheers for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe if you're new around here. We've got some fresh content coming out on the Patreon channel, so make sure you check that out. The link for that is in the description if you're after another video to go and watch. I got sent off on Saturday for Paddock FC. You can find out why by going and checking out this video and seeing for yourself.